Are you excited? Because I'm excited. I don't think I've ever been so excited because the My Little Pony English release for the card game is upon us. And I'm here to do some unboxings for the decks. I'm Pony Plays Card Games, and today we're going to be cracking into the Pinkie Pie starter deck for the Kayou My Little Pony card game. And these are basically the same thing as the Chinese release for the game last year that I've done videos for, and you can check that out if you're interested. But finally in English, with the official release date being the 1st of May. So you'll be able to start seeing these appearing in stores and getting to actually play the game yourself. So let's crack into this. They've glued the lid down. This one's got a bit more glue than the others do. I might have to break out the scissors on this one. Or even take the side tabs off. This one has a lot more glue. Here we go. Where I just got to unbox the rarity deck, which you can check out in my video for that. I will put a link up in the top corner. And that one did not have nearly as much issue with opening for me. But here we go, we are into it. As usual for these, they come with a deck mat cross rule sheet. So you'll have your full rules guide and instruction tutorial to be able to learn how to play the game and reference, as well as the front side is your playfield mat with all of the zones and the references for phase changes. So a very handy mat to have. And then you have the cards. And there you can already see the gorgeous Ruby Rare Pinkie Pie, which is your main character card, as well as 3 boosters that are for the starter deck set. They are so shiny. So the booster packs include exclusive cards that you can only get in the packs that come with the deck. So you won't be able to pick those up in just a regular booster box. They are special. And here we have got the cards for the main deck itself. You have the Ruby Rare main character card. Gorgeous texture and glitter and ripply foiling on that. A lovely Pinkie Pie. Shows a close-up on the back with her name down in the bottom corner. Super cute. And then we have got the silver rares. So the higher rarity card that you'll get in the deck, you get 2 of each of the silver rares that come in the deck, which means that if you want a playset, because a playset is 4 of any card by its card identifier number, kind of like in Digimon, if you want a playset of these, you're going to want to pick up 2 of the deck. And our first silver rare is Pinkie Pie herself. She is a 2-cost with 3 inspiration, and she has an ability that is active while she's in your adventure area, which is your main area of play, where your characters go when you've played them. While there is any character adorned with an item in your adventure area, this character gets +2 inspiration. Now this is a pretty staple Pinkie Pie. I think they did really well with the decks of making the main silver rare of the deck be something that you just want for your deck. So this Pinkie Pie, while any of your characters has got an item, is going to be 5 inspiration instead of 3, which for a 2-cost is insanely strong. And then we have got a silver rare Gummy. He's got a farewell ability, so that triggers when he is knocked out during an interaction, and even through an event, just when he's knocked out. But it's most commonly going to be through interaction. He lets you draw a card and discard a card. Then we have an uncommon Pinkie Pie. So uncommons have a texture foiling. There you can see that showing off with the rainbow sheen foil as well. You get 3 of your uncommons in the decks, and she is a 2-cost 4. So just base stats vanilla, but base stats vanillas are good in this game. Then we've got a 3-cost 4 inspiration Pinkie Pie, who is one with an ability active while in the adventure area. While there is any item in your retirement area, which is your discard pile or a graveyard, this character gets +2 inspiration in your turn. So she then becomes a 3-cost 6, which is again beating the general how much something costs to how strong it is. Pinkie Pie is very good at doing that, of being just the strongest character in the field when she has her tools to play with. Then there's Mrs. Cake. Now, the Mrs. Cake from this deck is actually really strong. She has an appear ability, so when you play her, when she comes into play, choose one character in Rival's adventure area. It gets -2 inspiration until end of turn. So they kind of cut out the these in the way that they speak on these cards, but you deal with it. It's not that bad. So she is a debuff, and she's a very good debuff when she enters play. Very strong card. We've got a Gummy. Adventure, while in your turn, this character gets +2 inspiration. So here's a 3-cost 6 during your own turn. Just super strong stats. The Pinkie Pie deck, straight out of the pack, is very strong stat-wise. Then we've got this 2-cost 3 Pinkie Pie, who says, while in the adventure area, at the end of your turn, if there is any Gummy in your adventure area, draw a card. So as long as there's a Gummy around, she'll draw you some cards at the end of your turn, which is a great bonus, because you want some cards to keep going. And this is the first common. Commons have this wicked star foiling with the expanding and contracting stars that you can see there. And here is another one of her very strong commons. 6-cost 8 inspiration. Pinkie on a trampoline. She is a beast of a card. That one is hard to take out when they get a 6-8 on the field. Now, I use the term 6-8 to refer to the cost and then the inspiration. Then we've got a Mrs. Cake, who is a 4-cost 6 inspiration, as well as a Gummy, who is a 3-cost 5 inspiration, and a Gummy, who is a 1-cost 2 inspiration. So a nice cheap one to get out. And they're your bonus characters. Now, normally you want most of your characters to be specifically one of the main 6, because they have the most things synergize with them. But having a Gummy or 2 in there is kind of handy when you've got characters who actually do work with Gummy. So they are not bad, but they're often the thing that you'll swap when you're going through boosters and you're actually pulling out some new Pinkie Pies. And now, the main deck cards, they've all got this back. That's the back of your main deck cards. These cards here are your story cards. They start the game in play, and they're what you progress through the 4 stages of to win the game. They actually write out what the story is on the back of the cards, which I think is super fun. And we have for Pinkie Pie, the Feeling Pinkie Keen's episode story. And that starts with the prediction. When promoted to this stage, you draw a card, which is pretty generic for all Stage 1 stories so far. Then we move on to Stage 2, which is the Giant Hydra. When promoted to this stage, choose a character in the rival's adventure area and gets -2 inspiration until end of turn. That is really handy to have a debuff effect that you can get on your story cards as you go through. Just be able to modulate the board for a bit. And then Stage 3 is Crisis Averted. When promoted to this stage, you choose one item in your retirement area and you add it to your hand, which is really good for Pinkie Pie, who loves item cards and really needs those cards to be in her hand at all times. And then stage 4, as with all stage 4s in the game so far, is when promoted to this stage, you win the game, because that's the main objective of the game, is to hit the 4th stage of your story. And now we move back into more cards for the main deck, is the event cards. And we've got 3 copies of the event Blue Curse, which has the effect of draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards as a 2 cost. So this is your spell, the kind of one-use effects that then go to your retirement area afterwards. But then, as they are very important for Pinkie Pie, we have got a pile of item cards, and some good fun ones. We have the Instrument set, which is a 1-cost item card, and it can be adorned to any character. So there's no restriction, whereas some items have a specific character that's the only character who can use them. This one is anyone can play these items. And it says, while in your turn, adorned character gets +1 inspiration. Although the funny thing is everyone's amazed in the show at how Pinkie Pie can play all of those instruments. And so the idea that anyone can use the instrument set is kind of funny when you think about that. And you get 4 of it. So 4 of the card that says, while it's your turn, the adorned character gets +1 inspiration. You get 3 head umbrellas. Head umbrella says, while in the rival's turn, the adorned character gets +2 inspiration. And it's a 3-cost item. Having buffs during the rival's turn is really strong. It's actually probably stronger than having buffs in our own turn, because interaction is forced every single turn. So if your character is too big for your opponent to get past, which Pinkie Pies are very big, then they can't really play anything in that lane and have to leave it open until they figure out how to deal with you. So an opponent's turn buff is a very strong card. Then here is Pinkie's Flying Balloon. Now this one is only adorned Pinkie Pie, so this is one of the character-specific ones. Adorned character gets +1 inspiration. Our turn, our opponent's turn, doesn't matter. +1 inspiration. Very handy, and we get a full playset of it. So that's the item cards for the main deck. And then we have our scene deck, which is a 15-card deck of scene cards with a different back to them that sits off to the side. And these are like our land cards or our energy cards in Pokemon, but they also have the really cool ability of you can use them to inspire your characters, which boosts the strength of your characters during interactions. And these ones, you'll get 15 of the Sugar Cube Corner scene card, which is given the lovely scene card glittery foil treatment. I really like the foiling type. They're simple, monochromatic. You can get full arts in the booster packs, which are gorgeous, but for the main deck ones, they're still really pretty, and this one helps you inspire your Pinkie Pies. So that is out of focus. There we go. That is the Pinkie Pie deck. That is the cards that you will guaranteed get if you get one of these decks. And then we have the booster packs to be able to crack into and see what awesome bonus cards we get. So 5 cards a pack. Let's see what we crack. We have got a rarity. 1 cost 2 inspiration rarity is 1 common. Then we have a 4 cost 6 inspiration Fluttershy. And we have a silver rare rarity. This is a 6/7. It's always going to get me that. It has a pre-plan ability, which is like a booby trap that your opponent can trigger as they're hitting you in combat. And it says that you can choose 1 character in your adventure area. It gets +1 inspiration until end of turn. So it's a good buff to throw your opponent off because suddenly your characters are stronger than they were expecting. And here's a new item card. Today's homework. Adorn only Twilight Sparkle or Spike. The adorned character gains adventure, tap, draw a card. So if you have a Twilight Sparkle or a Spike, you can make it that they can just tap each turn and draw you a new card, which is very handy. Now, One thing of note, especially with Pinkie Pie's deck, because it loves item cards, is that each character is only allowed to be adorned with one item at a time. So if you want to put a new item on, you can replace the old item, but you're not allowed to have more than one item per character. Then we have the Cloud Condominium, the Rainbow Dash scene card. All right, next pack. Ooh. We got a rarity, the 1/2 rarity. We've got a 1/1 Apple Bloom who gives Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo in your adventure area +1 inspiration. Oh, look at that. The Stairs of Cloudsdale. So this is a scene card, like the Cloud Condominium, that has the same effect actually. Your Rainbow Dash gets +1 inspiration till the end of contact as an inspo boost. But this is a full color scene. Borderless, stunning artwork. There's a day and night variant, so you can get 2 different variants of this scene in its full color. And it is so pretty. Check that out with the glittery silver border lines as well. The Starry Night. That is sweet. And we got a 1/2 Zakora. She's very cool. And a silver rare rarity. So that was an epic pack, and now we've got 2, and I actually pulled another of this in my rarity unboxing as well. Spoilers if you haven't seen it, but if you haven't, do check that out. So I'm well on my way to a playset of that card. That is cool. And then the last pack has a 3/5 Pinkie Pie, looking nice and cheerful. A 2/3 Sweetie Belle, and a silver rare Rainbow Dash. I love this card. It is so pretty. It's got great stats. It's 4 cost 6. And yeah, it's just solid as a card. Very cool. Ooh, a 4/5 uncommon Twilight Sparkle with an appear ability. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it's an event, draw 2 cards. That is cool as. That will be some great card draw. And the Fluttershy's Cottage Scene card. So that is the boosters for this one. We got some really nice hits. That full art scene is wicked. And that's the Pinkie Pie deck. So I hope you enjoyed watching this unboxing. Give it a like if you did, and consider subscribing if you'd like to see the rest of these decks unboxed in not too long from now as well. And if you would like as well, we have got the Pony Plays Card Game Discord server live and humming with plenty of new people joining every day. It is so exciting, and we're getting to chat, talk about deck building, and actually play games over the webcam. So if you want to get in on that, I'll leave an invite link in the description. So until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye for now.